Nigga, that shit was heat. Nigga, that shit was heat. Oh, that shit was so heat. Nigga, I forgot to breathe. Oh, that shit was heat. My nigga. Oh. Oh. Nigga, this shit was so fucking. That shit was so fucking. What up? It's your boy Dvrth back at it again with another video. And this weekend, or Friday, I believe, I finally watched My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, and if you want the cliff notes on how I feel about it, that shit was heat. It was a phenomenal experience to go see that in theaters. It was I went to go see it. I want to say I went to go see it Friday. I went to go see it Friday night. It was a 9:45 showing, and just walking into that theater and being in there with just people, like-minded people who fucked with it, who also fucked with the anime, was just a different. It's a different feeling that you don't get in like normal movie going experiences. You know, you don't get that experience like going to go watch, I don't know, fucking The Grudge, or I don't even remember feeling that kind of like vibe in the movie theater when I went to go see Endgame or Infinity War. Like, it was just walking in there, we just knew we were destined for greatness when we walked in that bitch, you know. So we are going to break down, well, not break down, but we're just going to talk about the movie, you know, how different scenes, how I feel about the movie as a whole. And the first half of this, we're going to keep out all the spoilers. I'm just going to tell you about how I felt about the movie. That's what the first half of this is going to be. Then the second half is going to, when we start getting into the spoilers and I really start talking my shit, you know. So with all that being said, let's get into it. So the movie, to start off, the movie is non-canon. It's not canon. It's not supposed to be a it's not, you know what the fuck not canon is. It's not a part of the canon. It's not a part of the actual story. This is just a one-off kind of thing. It has nothing to pertain again with story. Didn't actually happen. However, you usually think that a story, an anime movie being non-canon, is usually a strike against it, because it's, whenever you have a story that's non-canon, it's always, it seems to hold no weight. It holds absolutely no weight. You watch Naruto, and what was the movie where he was like in the snow and had to save the actress or something like that. Like, you watch that one and you're like, okay, you know, Naruto's gonna save the day, it's gonna be all right, you know, all this other shit. There's not a sense of finality to it, you know, like a movie should, you know. Like the last My Hero movie, you watch that and even though that one is canon, you felt like, in a little, just in the small sense, it did move the story forward. This one, however, since it's not canon, it doesn't exactly move the story forward. However, I will say that it did indeed have that sense of finality. But we'll talk about that more later. First, let's talk about the characters. You have all of Class 1A on display in this movie, and it is such a treat to watch. Everybody pull their weight. I mean, everybody was pulling their weight. It wasn't just a Deku and Bakugo and Todoroki show. Everybody was doing work. Tailman was doing work. Tailman, come on, man. Tailman was in there going crazy. And I think that's what that built. I think that's what built up a lot of the hype for the movie, is that everybody was going in, everybody was doing work, so you knew that the finale was about to be crazy, because just the one-off fights were crazy. And I, it's actually a lot of character building for um, Class 1A. One of the most subtle, one of the most subtle character building moments, which is, I don't know if this is a spoiler. I don't think this is a spoiler. One of the most subtle character building moments is that Ashido likes girls. Okay, yeah, it just adds to her character, sure. But as far as like the cast of 1A, we all know and love. Everybody was pulling their weight. It was basically like fan service just cranked up to like 13, and they took everybody and just said, what's the like coolest fucking scenario that we can put this person in, and there you go. It also showed how not only could Class 1A, hold their own when it comes to fights, but just helping out in a community, which Eraserhead said in the movie that it's not just beating up bad guys that's a part of being a hero. It's how you affect a community, and you get to see that on display with Class 1A in this movie. How they better the community just by having an agency there. They really show how, like, how versatile they are as just a class. Like, if when they grew up they all made an agency, they show how versatile they could be. They have Kaminari charging batteries. They have Jiro, Uraraka, and Deku finding lost kids. Like, Ida is like helping elderly people. It's such a heartwarming thing to see that not only do these heroes have a not only can they kick some ass, you know what I'm saying, not only can they swing on somebody, but they can actually better the environment around them. So with all that being said, let's get into the villains. They had 9, Chimera, Slice, and Mummy, I believe his name was. Not like super intricate quirks that they had. They were interesting, which I come on, man. You have to automatically assume that people have interesting quirks in this show, in this series, because that's like the bread and butter of this show. Just the powers are really interesting. It's a lot of shit you haven't seen. Almost a lot of some of them, like Chimera was like extremely strong, like to the point I was like, where the fuck have you been, so I loved the villains, especially Nines. Nines was nasty. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nines was absolutely disgusting. That man was swinging on. He was swinging on people. All right, you couldn't mess with that man. And the way each of the heroes handled it was also, an insurmountable amount of danger that they were up against. It was very interesting to see the way that the 1A classroom handled it. With that being said, it's even better, this movie, to show them off, because there are no pros. There were no pros. There was no get out of jail free card. There was no call All Might. There was no call Eraser. There was no call Endeavor or whatever. There wasn't any of that. It was just like either We fight here and we die, or we win. And I feel like that's how they really made the story like hold weight, and like feel like there was actually something to lose, you know. Especially since it's not canon. So when things are not canon, anything can happen. Anything can happen. And goddamn, anything did happen. When we get into the spoiler part of the the review, we gonna talk about that. Oh, trust me, we gonna talk about that. So, as a whole, if you just wanted to know whether it was a good movie, and by the time that this review's out, the shit's going to be like out of theaters, I'm pretty sure. But when it comes out on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever, should you watch it? Yes. Fuck yes, you should. Absolutely. Studio Bones did their fucking thing. The voice, I went to go see it dubbed. Even though I do watch it subbed, but I watch both of them. I'll watch both. I don't give a fuck. I'm not elitist. I don't care. I've watched the sub and the dub, but I went to go see it dub. And the voice acting was on par with what you can expect from My Hero Academia. The dub English voice actors are always phenomenal in their work with this series, so you can expect the voice acting to be pretty damn good. The animation, god tier, with a capital G, god tier. When I tell you, if you want, I will say this: you don't even have to be a fan of anime to appreciate the shit that we were seeing on that screen. If you have not, let me tell you this right now. If you haven't seen this movie, when it comes out, watch it. I don't care if you haven't watched anime a day in your life. Watch it. Because god damn, I mean god damn, that was amazing. So, with all that being said, yes, the movie was phenomenal. You definitely should go see it. You definitely should, when it comes out, buy the Blu-ray. I'll be buying the Blu-ray most definitely. I'll be supporting this shit however I can, because I need more of what I saw. It was phenomenal. Voice acting was amazing. Animation, god tier. The story, my fucking god. We didn't even talk about the story. I mean, we won't talk about the story because spoilers and stuff. But the story, very, very well done. The parallels. Very well done. The music. Oh my god, the music. Oh my lord, the music. The dynamic between Deku and Bakugo was. It was just something that I know fans of the series have been wanting to see for so long, especially anime onlys. Oh my god, it's something that we've been wanting to see for so long, and we just got it. It was like Bones and Horikoshi just said, okay bro, what we gonna do, we gonna really fuck them up this time. We just really gonna do them we just gonna swing on their eye sockets this time. And they did. Oh my god. So yes, Horikoshi and Studio Bones did their damn thing with this one. They did the damn thing with this one, I tell you. Okay, so spoiler free part out of the question. If you're still listening and you have not seen it and you want to go see it, or you want to buy it when it comes out on Blu-ray, You don't want to be spoiled because there are major fucking spoilers in this movie. Please go ahead and click off. Leave a like if you enjoyed the review. Share the video, and subscribe if you're new here. You know, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, you are appreciated. All that stuff I usually say. And y'all have a wonderful day. But if you still in this bitch, let's talk about it, nigga. Okay, hold up. Okay, hang on. Let me figure out where we really about to start. Okay. So let's talk about the story. So, you know, you got I forget his name already. You got the little boy. I'm just gonna call him little boy. You got the little boy, you know, he has the cellular, his quirk is like cellular activation. That shit's lit as hell. You got nines, which I was spot on with in my last like pre-game review of the trailer and stuff. I was spot on with his quirk. His quirk was exactly what I thought it was. However, what I didn't expect, this man is like all for one, and he can take quirks. So for some reason they put all for one's quirk into this man. Only like he has like a weaker part of the quirk, you know, like a weaker state of the quirk. There is like he can only have like so many slots of quirks. I think it was like 9. It was like 9. And his original quirk, I'm pretty sure that was his original quirk, or he took it from the dad. I don't know. But he did have Atmos Kinesis quirk, whether that was his original quirk or he took it from the little boy's dad. Because I remember that no, he definitely didn't take it from the little boy's dad, because he said that it only worked on type B blood. And he was like, oh, it's cellular activation, but it only works on type B. So his quirk was definitely the Atmos Kinesis. We had Slice, which is her quirk is basically like blade hair or some shit. Chimera, which was a fucking... What the fuck was he? I don't know. My man's could breathe fire. This man had unparalleled strength. He could transform into like some shit that shot laser beams out of his goddamn mouth. That fight was amazing. And just speaking of the fights, let's talk about those fights. So, you know, you have Bakugo, I think it was like Bakugo, Kaminari, and Kirishima fighting the little mummy dude. He was like the first one to go down. Bakugo was going crazy on that dumb nigga. My man's said, you gonna get the full blast, and he got the full explosion on his noggin. That man is lucky to be alive after that. He was lucky to be alive. The other fights with Ida and what's his name, Todoroki. It was Ida, Todoroki, Tailman, and somebody else. I think it was like Tokiyami, and they fought Chimera and got rocked the first time. But the second time, you know, Todoroki did some wild shit. He like did some Sub-Zero shit, and fucked Chimera up. What was the other fight? There was Ashido and it was Ashido and Tokiyami, which I knew was about to go crazy because they had Tokiyami like in the darkness, and I already knew what was gonna happen. As soon as Ashido went down, I was like, oh, you dead. I looked at Slice, I was like, you're about to die. I hope that you know that you just signed your own death. Like, you just signed off on your own death, because you about to die now. Like Nah, dog. The fight with actually the just all the interactions with Nine and Deku was a lot. Actually, like told me a lot about Deku's power, which is stuff that I kind of already figured. So it's not. While people were saying that they were manga spoilers, it was like stuff where I was like, well, I mean, I already kind of knew that. Like stuff like, oh, Deku has multiple quirks. Yeah, of course he does. He has all for one. That's kind of the point of like him having like the that's the kind of the point of the quirk. Like he has multiple quirks and they're all into one. Now, can he single out one of those quirks and use it for his own? I don't fucking know. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. I don't read the manga, so I don't know. However, it made it to where Nines couldn't take his quirk, which is a good mechanic to have written into the story to make it to give a reason to where he can't take his quirk. It's like, oh, you have like 9 quirks, I can't take it because you have like 9 quirks, of course. You know, and he can only hold 9 quirks in his body. And the reasoning for Nines to be on the island because he wants to take the cellular activation quirk, because his body breaks down every time he uses his quirk. You know, it's also a good writing, good thing to have been written into the story because, you know, it gives him a weakness and all that other stuff. You know, it gave the Class 1A a plan in how to stop Nines. You know, just make him use his quirk, which is, you know, pretty good plan. But I'm trying to zoom through all this so we can talk about the finale. Now, I truly believe, like I said in the first half of the review, I truly believe that when you have a story that's non-canon, you can go crazy with that bitch. Anything could happen. Absolutely anything could happen. And that's exactly what the fuck happened. So you got, oh my god, you got Bakugo, Deku fighting Nines. They're going crazy. The animation is going crazy, and Nines is just so. Nines embodies all for. Nines is basically his all for one. Like they're all for one, which is why I love Nines as a character. He's Deku's all for one, or at least he was. They're basically fighting and they cannot win. It's obvious they can't win. Nines has too many quirks, too many good quirks. Like dude has laser Frieza beams and dragons coming out of his back, and he can make shields and shields on top of shields to make springs that can just shoot you, which is basically everything that All for One had, just in a different quirk. So they basically like, we can't beat this nigga. He's too nasty with it, and we just can't beat that man. And then at like when everything is going wrong, I'm sitting here thinking, how the fuck do they get out of this one? They can't beat him, because at this point I'm pretty sure the whole theater was in agreement. You can't beat this dude. And like, there are no pros on the island. You can't beat him. You and Bakugo are the strongest niggas here. And if you two can't beat him, what do? You can't do anything. But this man Deku, this man looks at my man's Bakugo, and when he said, "You want to do something crazy?" Man said, "I got a crazy idea." And automatically, me and my friend that I went with, we automatically knew. I think the whole entire theater knew what was about to happen. And when I say that my heart just dropped when I like heard him utter those words, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I think that was the point where I was like, I think I might cry. I think I might cry. Like, that was, my man, looked him dead. My man looked Bakugo dead in his eyes and said, I got a crazy idea. And Bakugo apparently also knew what he was about to do too. Reached out his hand, bro. Reached out his hand. And it just confirmed what he was. Bro. So he passes off all for one to Bakugo. My nigga. And now they both have that bitch. But however, that means that Deku is going to lose it. And that's the finality that we need in movies that aren't canon. You have to have finality because it's not canon. Now I've also did some digging around and heard that this was originally supposed to be the ending to My Hero. Like, this was the original ending to My Hero, which I can fucking tell, because coming out of the theater, I was like, bro, that didn't really just happen, right? They played Might plus You, while Bakugo and Deku were going absolutely crazy with All for One, or not All for One, One for All. Of course, it breaks Bakugo's arms, and it but my nigga, they gotta keep on going. They break this man's entire storm that he was conducting with a Detroit smash into the air. The strongest fucking Detroit smash I've seen in the series so fucking far. When I tell you I was dumbfounded, I thought that was the end of it. I was like, damn, that was lit as hell. I'm thinking it's not the end. It's not the end. These niggas, Studio Bones did the goddamn thing. Like, this man, if you remember in season 3 episode like 23, I believe, when Bakugo and Deku were fighting, and Deku does that like spinning axe kick, and like everything goes dark and it's just like lightning, and like shit is just like, it's just everything's dark, it's lightning, and Deku's like swinging on that man. That's exactly what happened to my man's deck. It just goes dark, and I'm like, oh shit, oh, he about to do it again. This man was going crazy. I mean, absolutely wild. This man, bro. And yeah, Bakugo using One for All, which he had the orange lightning, which is fitting. Bakugo using One for All and his quirk together. Oh my god, bro. With the song going on in the background. No. Stop it. That and like, every time I thought, oh, that was crazy, that's the end, it wasn't the end. And then Bakugo would do something amazing, and it would just be animated with so much, oh my fuck. That would, bro, I truly would have to just rewatch that entire movie, especially that final fight, just to name off everything that happened, because it was just, if you want to know, if somebody ever asks you, your fellow weeb friend, or somebody that's not even into anime ever asks you, hey, what's Sakuga? Whenever this clip comes out of that final fight, you show them that. Because I have never, ever seen some shit like that. It was, dare I say, better than the double Detroit Smash in the last movie. Easily better. It was, now, for what the last movie, like what everything that it meant, like Deku and All Might fighting together, all that other stuff, like that was amazing. That had me in tears. But just watching this, just purely on a technical, like, animation level, unheard of. I don't think I'll ever see some shit like that again. Like, this animation was up there. This animation was all the way up there. It, in, like, not only was it phenomenal animation, but it was also absolutely that sense of finality wasn't just because, like, oh, the animation is amazing. The sense of finality came that Deku was fully prepared to lose one for all. So much to where he even announced that this was his final smash. And when my man said that was going to be his final smash, I have never been closer to crying on some non-canon shit in my life. Non-canon. Some shit that did not matter. And I was on the verge of tears. I was holding my chest. I forgot to breathe. I promise you, bro. Let me tell y'all. If y'all haven't seen this movie, please, whenever you get a chance, go see that bitch. Whether it's still in theaters where you're at, or it's just later on the line and you buy it on, please, I cannot stress enough, get this movie. You have to see it. You have to. Even if it's just for that final part, you have to see it. So we get to the part where the pro heroes finally come in and save Class 1A. They're not saving, but they're more like rescuing them, getting them off the island, because, I mean, they've beat the villains and they need to get the fuck out now. We get the scene with Bakugo and Deku. They're on the ground. Deku wakes up to All Might. He's in All Might's arms, and you know, he looks up at All Might. He's like, I did it. I gave it to Bakugo. I don't have it anymore. And I just was speechless, because once again, I've never seen finality in non-canon like this. Absolutely speechless. You just don't get that. You don't get that often. It was a beautiful moment. It truly exemplified why Midoriya is the -- 1 hero in pretty much all of our hearts. And he did such a good deed that All for or One for All itself decided to just transfer back to Bakugo or back to Midoriya. You know that, you know, it's a good safety net. You know, if they wanted to go the whole way and just say, hey, fuck it, from this point on Bakugo has it, Midoriya doesn't anymore, I would have been like, dang, that would have been even darker of an ending. But you know, it's still my hero. They kept it lighthearted, or at least not so dark. So it transfers back to Midoriya, because Bakugo, apparently the way that All Might explains that Bakugo fainted before it could fully transfer to all the way to him, so it just went back to Deku, which I guess you can say is a cop out. Yeah, fine. Yeah, that could be seen as a cop out. I didn't really care, because I mean, after you display something like that, you have the right to have your cop out. I don't care. You've already earned my respect at that point. So it was really besides it, you know, questionably being a cop out, it was a absolutely beautiful and well done scene. Very emotional, you know, in your usual My Hero Academia fashion. And you know, it just goes on from there. The students get back on the bus, you know, or not the bus, the ship, and you know, they you have the kid, I forgot his name, he's running saying bye to Midoriya, and the movie ends off on the most perfect note that it possibly could. My man Midoriya looks out to the kid and tells that man, you too can become a hero. And when I tell you, I felt that in my chest. Bro. Fuck. That was just too much for me. That was too much for me. I had to just leave at that point. It was just too much. So yeah, it ends that's where it ends. Perfect ending. In my mind, perfect ending. So all that being said, phenomenal movie. Phenomenal movie. I'm so glad I went to go see that. That was the best $10 I've ever spent in my life. Bro, it was just amazing. It was just amazing. It solidified for me. It reminded me why this is my favorite series of all time. It just a phenomenal movie. I'll say it again, if you haven't seen this, you have to see this. It was really fucking good. It was really good. It was really good. I'm just I don't know, man. Horikoshi and Bones, they did it again, man. They did it again. So if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, you are also appreciated. And this is my usual type of video, so I can't say the rest, but y'all stay amazing, stay safe, and take care of yourselves.